Hello students, let's have the numericals of the chapter 12 electromagnetic induction. Now let's see the important formulas of the chapter electromagnetic induction that will be used here to solve the numericals. As per the Faraday's laws of electromagnetic induction, we come to know that whenever there is a change in the magnetic flux associated with a coil, an EMF is induced in the coil. And as per the second law, the magnitude of induced EMF is directly proportional to the rate of change of magnetic flux through the coil there. Hence, here the magnitude of the induced EMF is to be given as magnitude of E is directly proportional to the rate of change of magnetic flux to the coil. So it is to be given as d phi by dt, and this is valid for one turn of the wire there. When there are n number of turns are there in a coil, then magnitude of induced EMF is to be given as n into d phi by dt. Then the magnetic flux is to be given as a scalar product of B and A. So it is to be given as phi is equal to BA cos theta, where theta is the angle between area and the direction of the magnetic field of induction. After that, we had seen the EMF induced in a circuit whose parts move in a fixed magnetic field, which is to be given as A is equal to BLV, where B is the uniform magnetic induction, L is the length of the conductor, and V is the velocity with which the conductor is to be moved in this magnetic field of induction. Then we had seen EMF induced in a rotating rod also, which is to be given as E is equal to half B omega L square, where B is the uniform magnetic induction, L is the length of the conductor, and omega is the angular velocity of the rotating rod in a magnetic field of induction. We had also determined the rate of mechanical work done in pulling a loop through a magnetic field, which is to be given as P is equal to V square L square V upon R, where B is the uniform magnetic induction, L is the length of the conductor or a loop, V is the velocity of the loop or a conductor with which it is moving in a uniform magnetic induction, and R is the collective resistance of the loop or a conductor. Then we have studied about the self-inductance, the production of induced EMF in the circuit or a coil itself on account of a change in current in it is termed as the phenomenon of self-inductance. And here we come to know that the magnetic flux linked with the circuit or a coil itself B phi, which is directly proportional to the current in it, that is I. So here we can say that as phi is directly proportional to I, so phi is equal to Li, where this L is the constant of proportionality and is termed as self-inductance or coefficient of self-induction of the coil. Then by using the same phenomenon, the EMF induced in a coil or a circuit, the self-induced EMF is given as per the Faraday's law is equal to minus L di upon dt. As EMF induced is to be given as minus d phi by dt as per the Faraday's law, the value of phi we are getting as Li, Hence it is to be taken as L is constant, I is to be changed with respect to time there. So E is equals to minus L di upon dt there. Where negative sign indicates that the induced current or induced EMF tries to oppose the change or the cause which produced it. After that, we have determined inductance per unit length near the middle of a long solenoid, which is to be given as capital L upon L is equal to nu 0 n square in bracket pi d square upon 4. Here, d is the diameter of solenoid there and n is the number per unit length, and capital L upon L is said to be a inductance per unit length there. Then we had seen the concept of mutual inductance. As mutual inductance is the interaction of one coil's magnetic field on another coil as it induces a voltage in the adjacent coil there. When the EMF is induced into an adjacent coil situated within the same magnetic field, the EMF is said to be induced magnetically, inductively, or by mutual induction. The symbol is given as capital M. Then, when two or more coils are magnetically linked together by a common magnetic flux, they are said to have a property of mutual inductance. And hence, here we can write the magnetic flux linked with the coils is directly proportional to current I in it, and that's why we can write it as phi is equal to mi, where m is said to be the coefficient of the mutual inductance. And the mutually induced EMF E is to be given as per the Faraday's law minus m di upon dt. Next, the turn per unit length we are considering as small n, which is to be given as capital N upon L, where capital N is the total turns of the wire there. Next, we had seen coefficient of coupling K, which is a measure of the portion of flux that reaches coil 2, which is in the vicinity of coil 1. Greater the coefficient of coupling means greater will be the mutual inductance. The two coil 1 and 2 with self-inductance L1 and L2 is coupled with mutual inductance and is given as K is equal to M upon square root L1 into L2. After that, we had seen transformer, which is an electrical device that converts low alternating voltage at high current to high alternating voltage at low current and vice versa. And it is based on the principle of mutual induction, that is, whenever the magnetic flux linked with the coil changes, an EMF is induced in the neighboring coil. Then the induced EMF in the secondary coil is to be given as ES. ES represents induced EMF in the secondary coil is equals to NS into d phi upon dt, where NS is the number of turns of the secondary coil there. And the induced EMF in a primary coil is to be represented as EP, and it is to be given as EP is equal to minus NP into d phi by dt, where NP represents number of turns in the primary coil. Then there is a relation between voltage and current in the transformer, which is to be given as ES upon EP is equal to NS upon NP, as well as ES upon EP is equal to IP upon IS. As ES and EP is the EMF induced in the secondary and primary coil, NS and NP is the number of turns in the secondary and primary coil, IP and IS is the current in primary and secondary coil there. Hence, we can write ES upon EP is equal to NS upon NP is equal to IP upon IS. So, these are the important formulas for the chapter electromagnetic induction that will be used to solve the numericals. Now, the next unsolved numerical from the textbook, question number 15 is the primary and secondary coil of a transformer each have an inductance of 200 into 10 raised to minus 6 Henry. The mutual inductance M between the windings is 4 into 10 raised to minus 6 Henry. What percentage of the flux from one coil reaches the other? Here it is given in a transformer which is having its primary and secondary coil. Each coil have an inductance of 200 into 10 raised to minus 6 Henry. That means the inductance of the primary coil is 200 into 10 raised to minus 6 Henry, as well as the inductance of secondary coil is also 200 into 10 raised to minus 6 Henry. And also it is given the mutual inductance M between the windings of these two coil is 4 into 10 raised to minus 6 Henry. And here we have to determine the percentage of the flux from one coil reaches the other. Let's see the solution. As it is given, the self inductance of each coil is 200 into 10 raised to minus 6 Henry. That is, L is given 200 into 10 raised to minus 6 Henry. And the mutual inductance is 4 into 10 raised to minus 6 Henry. That means M is 4 into 10 raised to minus 6 Henry. And we have to determine the percentage of the flux from one coil reaches the other. That means we have to calculate the percentage of the flux transfer, which is to be given as M upon L into 100. As value of M is 4 into 10 raised to minus 6 Henry. Value of L is 200 into 10 raised to minus 6 Henry. Here in this formula for the percentage of flux transfer, M upon L into 100, we have to substitute the values, and after the substitution it becomes 4 into 10 raised to minus 6 upon 200 into 10 raised to minus 6 into 100. And when we are calculating this value, so we are getting 2%. That means here we can write the final answer. The percentage of the flux from one coil reaches the other coil is 2%. That means 2% of the flux from one coil reaches the other. The next unsolved numerical from the textbook, question number 16 is a toroidal ring made from a bar of length L 1 meter and diameter D 1 centimeter is bent into a circle. It is wound tightly with 100 turns per centimeter. If the permeability of bar is equal to that of free space nu 0, calculate the magnetic field inside the bar B when the current I circulating through the turns is 100 ampere. Also determine the self-inductance L of the coil. Here it is given a toroidal ring whose length is 1 meter and diameter is 1 centimeter is bent into a circle, and then it is wound tightly with 100 turns per centimeter. And also it is given the permeability of the bar is equal to the permeability of the free space nu 0. Then here we have to calculate the magnetic field inside the bar when the current is circulating through the turn, and the current value is given is 100 ampere. And also we have to determine the self-inductance L of the coil. Now let's see the solution. As it is given, the length of the bar L is 1 meter. So small l is 1 meter. Diameter small d is given 1 centimeter. It is to be converting into meter, hence to be equal to 10 raised to minus 2 meter. And also number of ton per centimeter is given as 100 tons per centimeter. It is to be now converting into tons per meter there. Then the value of n will comes to you 10,000 tons per meter. As well as the current circulating the bar is 100 ampere there. The current circulating through the turn is 100 ampere. And we have to find out the magnetic field inside the bar B and also the self inductance L. Here we are going to use the formula B is equal to nu 0 Ni, and second formula we are using L is equals to N phi upon I. In the formula B is equals to nu 0 Ni, here we have to substitute the values. Nu 0, the value is 4 pi into 10 raised to minus 7. So here it is to be written 4 into value of pi we are using 3.142 into 10 raised to minus 7. Value of n here we are getting as 10,000 tons per meter, and the value of I we are having 100 ampere. So in the formula B is equal to nu 0 Ni, we have to substitute the values and multiply these values. So we are getting the value of B as 1.256 Tesla. That means the magnetic field inside the bar when the current I circulating through the turns is 100 ampere is 1.256 Tesla. Then next over here, the area of the cross section is pi into r square. As r is nothing but d upon 2, so r square becomes d square upon 4. So area of the cross section we are getting as pi into d square upon 4. Let's substitute the value as d is given, which is 10 raised to minus 2. So value of pi we are using 3.142 into d square. So value of d is 10 raised to minus 2. So we have to take 10 raised to minus 2 the whole square upon 4. After the substitution, we have to calculate, and we are getting the value of area of cross section as 0.7855 into 10 raised to minus 4 meter square. After obtaining the value of area of cross section, let's calculate the value of self inductance, as L is N phi upon I, where capital N is nothing but product of N into L, number of turns per meter into the length of the toroidal ring, and phi is the product of B and A. Hence, self inductance L is equal to NLBA upon I. Then substitute the values, as N is 10,000 turns per meter, value of L is 1 meter, B we have calculated 1.256 Tesla, area we had determined as 0.7855 into 10 raised to minus 4 meter square, and value of I we are having as 100. So here we have to substitute the values of N, L, B, A upon A, and we have to calculate this ratio, and we are getting the value of L as 0.98 into 10 raised to minus 2. So here we can write it is approximately 10 millihenry, as it becomes 1.0 into 10 raised to minus 2 Henry, and hence can be written as 10 into 10 raised to minus 3 Henry, and finally we can give the self inductance approximately we are getting the value as 10 millihenry. And finally we can write our final answer as the magnetic field inside the bar B when the current I circulating through the turns is 100 ampere will be 1.256 Tesla, and the self inductance L of the coil is 10 millihenry. The next and the last unsolved numerical from the textbook, question number 17 is, a uniform magnetic field B function of time pointing upward fills a circular region of radius S in horizontal plane. If B is changing with time, find the induced electric field. As over here, it is given that a uniform magnetic field is to be pointing upward fills a circular region of radius S in horizontal plane, and if B is changing with time, then we have to find out the induced electric field there. Let's see the solution. As induced electric field, here it is given as E is equals to minus d phi by dt. As phi is nothing but product of B and A, so here it is to be written as minus d by dt of bt into A, where A is the area which is to be given as pi r square. The radius r over here is to be mentioned as S, so the area is to be written as pi s square. So E is to be equal to minus d by dt of bt into pi s square, and hence over here, as if B is changing with time, then we have to find out the induced electric field there. So as B is changing with respect to time, so this pi s square is constant there, and here we have to write down as dB upon dt as B is to be changes with respect to time there. So the electric field, the induced electric field over here we are getting as minus pi s square dB by dt. So if B is changing with time, as dB by dt is there, then the value of the induced electric field will be minus pi s square into dB by dt. So here we are getting our final answer, E is equals to minus pi square dB upon dt. So students, you have to solve and practice all the numericals. Thank you.